Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening. Welcome to the broadcast. Sorry we're a little late with the start. Had some technical difficulties, but we're on track now. So, good evening and welcome to the broadcast tonight. Steve Bundage is on the show with us. Steve is a kidney transplant patient and an active kidney advocate. He's a good friend and a hard worker. He cares for and supports other members of his family. He was diagnosed with diabetes that subsequently led to kidney failure. Eventually, his kidney failure led to dialysis. Unfortunately, sepsis set in, almost costing Steve his life. He eventually had to switch from home dialysis to in-center hemodialysis. He began to take steps to find a kidney donor. He was extremely, extremely compliant with his dialysis treatments and his medications. He asked his friends and his relatives to test for him. Many refused or were eliminated due to diabetes, high blood pressure, or obesity. His own son tested. That's how he discovered he was diabetic. He was on dialysis for 8 very long years. Steve has a strong faith in God, or in his words, all in caps, give it to God, trusting someday that he would be transplanted. He consulted with our good friend, Kent Bressler from Kidney Solutions. After many, many false alarms, he finally received the call and was transplanted. Since the time of his transplant, he has been more than happy to help other kidney patients. Please give a very warm welcome to our friend, Steve Bundage. Steve, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. Thank y'all for having me.
Oh, no worries. Did I state everything correctly in the introduction?
Yes, sir. Perfectly done job. Perfectly done job.
All right. Tell us a little bit about what your, no, let me do it this way. Please tell us a little bit about where you grew up, your educational experience, and your employment history.
I'm Steve Bundage, 53 years old. I grew up here in Houston, Texas. I attended Jack Yates High School, graduated in 1987. I was on my way to college, but at a young age, I had young kids, so I went on and had to go to work and take care of these kids. Occupation, fuel driver in Southeast Texas. Done that for over 20 years, and due to dialysis and kidney disease, I had to back away for a little while, but one day soon, I should hopefully get back. Just work for myself, which mostly that's what I want to do. But it's been a journey. So,
okay. Our friend Jonathan Traylor is saying hello.
How you doing, Jonathan?
Elizabeth Olam is saying hi. Hi, Elizabeth. And your sister, Bridget Green, is saying hi. So
that's my sister, Bridget. Thanks for coming, Bridget.
We got the family here tonight.
Right.
Please tell us a little bit about what your life was like prior to being diagnosed with diabetes, high blood pressure, and kidney failure.
Well, I always did have a problem with blood pressure over the years. It always would stay up, but I could get it down because I always like to work out and do a little running exercises. But back in 2008, I was going because I was a truck driver. You have to get your physical done every year. And every year I do my physical, they'll tell me I had protein in my urine. I couldn't tell because I couldn't see the color differential, what they were seeing. So it wore on and wore on, and the blood pressure stayed high. So it done this toll over me over several years. Mm-hmm. But from 2008 to about 2011, 2012, I just got with me a renal doctor, Dr. Shears from St. Luke's, and I started being aware of it. But once your kidneys go bad, they never just get the same anymore. So I was able to deal with it because I was staying active at all times. So then it took its toll. And when it took its toll, I was trying to be more mindful of it, but I just had to fight it. So I was fighting her about getting on dialysis, but she always talked about it. And once my numbers got up under 20, I had no choice. So when I got to 18 or 15, she was like, we need to be more serious about dialysis. So I took the approach of having home dialysis, PD, instead of going to the clinic. So I done that, and it was great. I was able to work every day and go to work and keep exercising, try to eat healthy. But like I say, once your kidneys go bad, they like start deteriorating on you. But I fought her for years and years, and we just came to the conclusion, let's do it. So I started doing home dialysis in 2012. And it was good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. You know, I didn't feel the weakness or the tiredness from being a fatigue or broken down, but it was still a hassle because I had to do dialysis every night, 8 hours a night. But after 3.5 years, then I started seeing it affected me more. I wasn't draining, I wasn't eating, and it just took its toll on me.
I understand from talking to our friend Kent that at some point in time you had infections, sepsis.
Oh,
Can you
man.
talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, like I say, after 3 years, it was good. And then I started losing my appetite and losing weight, and I was wondering why. I could always have a thirst. I could always be thirsty, but I wasn't eating. So I was like, why am I drinking so much? And I guess I was dehydrated because I wasn't eating and getting the proper protein. And when I stopped draining real good, I didn't know there was an infection in my stomach. So after the first infection, I went to the doctor. We treated it. It was kind of mild. And then about 2 weeks later, it came back down again. So we went back and we treated. So all within a month and a half, maybe 2 months, I got the last one in 2017 after doing that time on dialysis, 16 going into 17. And the third one put me in the hospital. And from that time, it ended me up in ER. I had PD. And I had no choice but to be in the hospital and get treated for it. And I spent 2 weeks there, and it never about took me out. 2017 was a bad year for me. It really never about took me out. If I wouldn't have made it to the hospital when I did, I probably wouldn't be here talking to y'all now. So I don't have to think about that time, but I was able to know. I was glad I knew my faith in God. So that kept me going. I didn't know how I was going to make it, but I made it. But I had to put my trust in God because there was some times, you know, depression kicked in and I just wanted to give up really, really bad. But I just wouldn't give up. But the struggle is real, put it like that. The struggle is really real with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kent told me you had a pleural effusion and a chest to drain fluid from your chest. Is that true?
Yes, sir. This happened. I went to all my protocol for kidney disease. I mean, for transplant. So the last thing that was going on with me, and I had got 2 calls. The first call, they called me, and the lady called me back and said, well, Mr. Bundage, we can't allow you to get this kidney because it's a person before you. They're going to get this kidney. So I'm like, fine. And then the second call came in about 6 months later. She wouldn't give me that kidney because it was a 70-year-old male that passed away, and she didn't want me to have that kidney. So I was like, okay, doc. She said, well, don't worry about it. Your day is coming. So I took that to heart, and I dealt with the deal. So prior to getting my kidney, I went through all the things my doctor asked me to do. I made all my appointments, and I done everything they consider I should do. So at this time, I go to my preliminary doctor, lung doctor, and he released me to get the kidney. So Dr. Timmons, my transplant doctor, was like, no, we can't give him that kidney because he has fluid on his lung. So we did x-rays every week, sometimes twice a week. And on my left side, you can really see it was really foggy on the x-ray. The right side was clear. So we went to his office and we drained something like, it was 2 jugs, maybe 32 to 48 ounces, what he drained in his office. So after that, he was like, okay, Steve, I can clear you for transplant. But the doctor was like, no, we're not going to do that. We need to get this off of him. So about 2 months passed. She recommended I go to St. Luke's, talk to this doctor. I can't think of her name right now. And they got my x-rays from the preliminary doctor, and they was like, we have to get this fluid off you in order for you to get this kidney. Or not, we can't give you this kidney. So I went in and did the test. and met with her. And a week later, I was in the hospital. Maybe 5 days later, I was in the hospital, and they had to drain this fluid off my left side. So she explained everything to me. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but then I realized what I really got myself into. It was like 3/4 inch water hose, two in the side of my ribs on my right side to go over to my left kidney with a pump that pumped 24 hours a day, and they had to pump that fluid off me and regulate it. And they'll come in every morning and measure it. But the pain was so painful. I was just in tears for all them days I was in the hospital. But I had to do it to get this kidney. So without that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today with the kidney. So
Okay.
I dealt with it. It was painful. I didn't know what an epidural was, but I know now, and I tell anyone who ever get this done to them, make sure you get it. Morphine, round the clock, and just a lot of praying. So thank God for that. And I'm here, Jim. I'm here.
Okay. After the period of time that you had sepsis, what happened to your employment?
My employment, I was able to work till I got really sick. They was really cordial with me. And matter of fact, my boss called me today and just check up on me. And they welcoming me back, but due to the transplant, and I don't know if I could really go back. So that's something I got to check with them on, and DOT and this and that. So it's a uphill battle, but it's not really concerning. But they really had my back, and I really thank them for that. They didn't just fire me or let me go. It was my decision, because I worked, even doing dialysis, I worked like 2.5 years doing home dialysis when they could have gave up on me. But they allowed me to work. I done my job. When I was saying I was being not effective in doing my job, I pulled myself out of the lineup and let someone else do it. So I won't, cause a problem at someone's house or some gas station or to myself.
Okay. My friend Bobby Reed is on the broadcast tonight. Shout out to Bobby. Thank you for tuning in and checking us out. Did you have any other challenges with your health, hospitalizations or illnesses while you were on dialysis, either home dialysis or in center?
I had to do in center dialysis after the infections. I had to end up doing in center dialysis. That was a choice for my doctor and me, because doing the home dialysis, I'd seen the risk that I was taking by doing it at home. Even though I was doing everything right, there's never a guarantee of doing everything right. Because you're your own tech, you're your own nurse, you got to weigh yourself, blood pressure. You do it all with a nurse do at the center. And, if the machine break, fix it or not, you just disconnect. You might drain, you might not. So I didn't want to go back to it. Then you have to have, it's just so much you have to do. And it's really easy to forget. So I was like, no, I don't want to do this no more. So the doctor was like, we'll give you 8 weeks at the center, then you can go back to it. So in the meantime, while I was at the center, I was telling her, no, I don't want to go back. I prefer to come here. All I have to do is just hook up and, go home. But then once I saw them big needles, I was like, oh my God, I should have stayed home. But I toughed it out, and it was a challenge. I did that for like 4.5 years at the center. And 2021, I just told Mr. Kent 2020 in November, I just couldn't try no more. I told him, I said, well, who was talking? I said, Kent, I don't want to try no more. I don't want to try. Forgive me right there.
It's all right, buddy. You take your time. Tell us a little bit, when did you make a determination that you were going to seek a kidney transplant?
I tried right before I got on going to the center. I was trying a little everything. I had a little friend that a close friend And she knew what I was going through, and she really stuck by my side. And matter of fact, that's how I met Kent. I mean, through her, I met Kent. She was searching online, and she saw a person that could help you find a kidney, could a kidney solution, and she recommended me to Kent. And she come talk to me one day. She said, "Well, I reached out to this guy Kent, and he wanted to talk to you." And I said, "Okay, fine." I said, "Well, when can we do it?" She said, "I set the appointment up. He coming into town to meet you, and we're gonna sit out and talk and try to get you a kidney. But in the meantime," she helped me with flyers, T-shirts, online, Facebook, all of that. Instagram, she was doing this on her own. And it really made me feel special that someone cared about me enough to try to help me. So along came Kent, and everything just seemed like it came together. But I tell you one thing, if you have faith, God will put the right people in your life. So by me praying and knowing my faith, he put the right people in my life. And he come to town, we meet, we talk, we pray. And one thing led to another, and we became pretty close. So we went through trying. I tried everything. We were going for it for years. And we would sit down and talk. He was like, "Steve, I don't know what else to do. We're gonna keep trying. Something gonna happen, something gonna happen." So after about 4 years, I just called him one day out the blue. I just said, "Kent, I'm not gonna try no more. I've done everything I think I need to do." I said, "I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna trust God instead of trusting Steve. Because God say, if you're gonna trust him, trust him." So I had to trust him no matter what. So I talked to him. He said, "Okay, Steve, we'll do that." So this was, I go come back to that. So I stopped trying. I just left it in God's hand. But I decided I'm gonna go do my dialysis. I would not miss a treatment. I'm gonna do everything I need to do to keep myself together. So whenever that call come in, Steve will be ready. That's
Okay.
what I just bunkered down and did what I had to do. So when the call came, I would be ready.
Our friend Shannon Mulroy is on the broadcast tonight, Steve. She wants to say hello and let you know how blessed and fortunate they are to have you with the Kidney Solutions family.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all allowing me to be a part of the Kidney Solution. It really been a big help to me. I mean, I come in on the meetings. Sometimes I don't want to say that. I just like to listen in because I know where some of the folks that's on Kidney Solution, they're looking for kidneys and doing dialysis and going through this and that. I've been through that. And it's a challenge. I mean, it's really depressing. I mean, there's plenty of nights I just cried. Like I said, I didn't have an appetite, Jim, for a long time. And I could always go to the kitchen and get me something to drink and put on more fluid, but I'm not draining the fluid off me. And then I went to a period of time where every time I ate something, it just come up out the blue. I mean, I can just drink water after I eat it, coming up. So I had to get to the hospital to see what was going on because this wasn't normal for me. So I mean, it's really rough, and my heart go out to those that's dealing with kidney disease. My heart go out to them. It brings back memories to me. Even though I have this kidney now, I have compassion for those that dealing with it right now.
Okay. Did you have any challenges getting listed for a transplant? Did you have any difficulties, anything like that?
Well, when I said to you all, God put the right people in your life, I was on transplant a year before I even got on dialysis. I had a nurse that came to me and knew what I was going through and knew what I was about to face because she was my PD nurse and she was the nurse at the office. So this young lady named Gwen, very religious lady, She did all my paperwork. I mean, even when I got ready to leave work, all my paperwork was done. When I had to go to Social Security office or when I had to go to wherever I need to go, she would do all my paperwork. So when the time came, she said, we're going to enlist you early because of your blood type, and you'll be ahead instead of just getting on there lose a year or two. So she started me early. I didn't know what she was doing, but I see why she did it. And it really helped, even though I waited 8.5 years, it could have been 9.5 years.
Okay.
She made all the preparations, and I had nothing to do but just do what I was told to do.
Okay. Where were you listed for transplants, Steve?
St. Luke's Medical Center in Houston. I was listed there. And then I got listed in San Antonio at Methodist. And I was about to get listed in Galveston because I hear they move a little faster. But going back to Galveston, I was, had my insurance. This was something that threw me a curve. I think it held me back on getting my kidney. I had this social worker I was dealing with for a long time. And she was so good to me. And I was getting a check, every month. And she would get a check. I would give her a portion of the check to pay all my medical deal when it came to Medicare and all this and that. So after about 3-4 years, she retired. At me did a will. No, I said about 6 years. She retired. So we get another social worker in, and I'm doing dialysis at the center at this time. And I go to get my medicine at Walgreens, and so I'm wondering why my medicine's so expensive. So I asked the tech at the pharmacy, I said, well, why is my medicine? He said, well, you don't have insurance. I said, yes, I do have insurance. I've been having insurance. So I come to find out, call the social worker, which is the new lady, and she tell me, oh, no, your insurance has been paid since December 31st. It's just not there, And I'm like, well, why? My check is coming to you. Why are you not paying it? She said, oh, that's not my job to do. I said, what the lady before you was doing it for me. I didn't have to worry about nothing. Oh, well, I'm not going to do that for you. So at this time, it was December, January, February. It was getting ready to go into March. And my medicine is so expensive. I'm like, wait a minute. So she dropped the ball on me. So I was like, well, what do I do from here? So one thing led to another. I go to the local social worker, and I talked to Scott, which was at the office with us, and we talked to her. She don't want to do it, and I lapsed on my insurance. So when I called the insurance, she said, the folks at the insurance said, well, we give you 30 days. You don't take care within 30 days, ain't nothing we can do for you. We just dropped you. So they couldn't tell me nothing. So I'm sitting here looking like, wait a minute, what I supposed to do? What I supposed to do? So we call around some insurance companies, and the insurance company telling me, no, we can't carry you because you're a kidney patient. You got kidney disease. I'm like, well, aren't you a medical insurance? Can you cover us for whatever we're going through for whatever medical reasons? They're like, yeah, but we can do it. But when it comes to kidney patients, kidney disease, we don't cover them. So I never lost my mind. So I would call my mentor, talk to him, and he would always advise me, there's something we can do about it, something we can do about it. But we couldn't get the job done. So I would call around Blue Cross, Aetna, Healthcare, United Healthcare, and around. Nobody wanted to cover me. I'm sitting there on the transplant list, and nobody wanted to cover me. So I was like, I'm not going to never get this kidney. So I called Ken. I said, Ken, can I still get my kidney even though I don't have my other half of my insurance? Will I still be covered? And everybody I asked told me yes. So I started checking into things, trying to research myself. Most of them told me no. All I needed was one yes. So what I did, I came home, gave it to God, which is my word that I use on a regular basis, and I tell anyone, any problem you're going through, anything in life you face with, give it to God. So I'm sitting here one day, I lost my insurance, March, April, May, June, July, August. I call it August. I just sitting at home one day watching TV after dialysis. Let me call this number on TV. So I call a number, talk to a young lady. She sit there and we talk and talk. I said, ma'am, the problem I'm having, no one want to cover me because I have kidney disease. I have no control over that. It's something I'm dealing with. She said, I understand, Mr. Bundage. She said, it's nothing I can do right now. She said, but let me call you back. So I sit here, gave it to God. After all he knows, I've been told no for months and months. She come back on the phone and she tell me, she say, there's nothing I can do right now. She said, well, what you do, and I'm not supposed to tell you this, call me back October the 1st. So I said, okay, fine. I wait till October. I call her back October the 1st. Then she say, I'm gonna set you up in the system, and then I want you to call me back October the 15th, which is enrollment period time. I said, okay, fine, I'll call you. I call back on the 16th. We go through the paperwork. She outlined everything for me. She said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sign you up, and I'm gonna try to get you covered. No, she said, I'm gonna make sure I get you covered. And I'm like, wow. So she said, only thing about it, you have to wait till January before it's effective. Now, mind you, the whole time I'm sitting here and I'm praying to God, you know, something got to work out. A kidney come up, I might not can get it. I might be bypassed. But doing my faith and trusting God, I know God timing is not my timing. So I prayed about it, gave it to God. I'm not going to worry about it. Kept going to dialysis, kept asking my doctor, can I get this kidney even though I don't got insurance? Oh, yeah, you can get it. Oh, yeah, you can get it. So I called Transplant. Can I get this kidney even though I don't have my insurance? Yeah, you can get it. But all of a sudden, I noticed all my phone calls stopped coming from Transplant. Everything just froze. I'm like, why nobody calling? Nobody answering my phone calls. Nobody returning my phone calls. So I called January the 1st, like she told me. No, I called on the 2nd because it's New Year's. I called on the 2nd of 2020. But going back before I called them, me and Kent was having a conversation. And he always called me out the blue. We talk, we laugh, and everything. So Kent was like, Steve, you gonna get that kidney. I said, no, Kent. I said, 2021 is my year. I boldly said it, 2021. So I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all right.
I'm sorry. I just told Kent out the blue, Kent, my faith is strong. 2021, I'm gonna receive this kidney. Now let me tell you how I go at work in my life. And my sister Bridget can tell you. She prayed for me. There's folks on here tonight, I don't know if they came in, they prayed for me. You all prayed for me. My church family prayed for me. My family prayed for me. So I called back January the 2nd. I had got all my cards in from AARP, United Healthcare, my advanced program and everything. I got all my paperwork back. It came in before I was effective. So on the 2nd, I went to dialysis. I go to dialysis. When I get to dialysis, I tell my doctors after dialysis, I need you to see this card. I have my other insurance that I've been needing. And they were like, okay, thank you. I left there and went to transplant. This is my secondary card that I needed for my insurance. I'm going to tell y'all this experience. When they say go and work in mysterious ways, Jim, I called them on the 2nd, Jim, of January 2021. Now, mind you, I told Kent, 2021 gonna be my year for this kidney. I'm not gonna suffer too much more. Suffer no more. I'm gonna get this kidney. I was so focused on this kidney, I claimed it by faith. I called them, I went up there on the 2nd, gave transplant dialysis in my card. I come home, I felt good for some reason. I don't know why I felt good, but I called them, the insurance folks. I said, well, Is everything okay? Is it affected? Mr. Bundage, you good to go. You have your insurance. You good to go. Jim, this is on the 2nd of January, 2021. As I claim, I'm going to get this kidney. 7 days later, the call come in. Mr. Bundage, we have your kidney. I couldn't draw up another story. I could ask for a better story. All I could do was praise God. My faith has healed me. I tell anyone, your faith can heal you. All you have to do is believe. Give it to God. Trust God. Your faith can do anything on earth. I'm a living witness.
Okay. I
got
want people to know, Steve, that you had 12 people that wanted to donate to you, but they weren't healthy enough. They had diabetes, high blood pressure, they were obese. Your son tested for you.
Yes, sir. My young son. Yes.
He had diabetes.
Yes.
He couldn't donate to you.
Yes.
You were on dialysis 8.5 years.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
What was the date that you got the call?
It was so ironic. I'm going to tell y'all this story. I was at dialysis on the 2nd. No, on the 9th. I was at dialysis on a Saturday. It was a Saturday. I mean, on the 9th was a Saturday, January 2021. I'll never forget that day because my mom's last brother that was living, we was getting ready to, we were having his arrangements that day. So I went to dialysis and I told them, I said, look, I'm going to do 3 hours a day. I normally don't do this, so I'm going to do 3 hours. I got to get home and we're going to have a funeral here in Houston and we got to take him up to our hometown, which is about 1 hour and 45 minutes from here. So that was no problem. The problem was I told a young nurse that what I had to do. She wanted to question me, Jim. So I'm like, why are you questioning me? She came to me and asked me, why do you need to leave dialysis and what the reason? So I looked at her real strange and I looked at the guy, the technician. He said, she don't need to know that. So I said, Kim, what's the problem today? And she was going on bickering and blah, blah, blah. So I let it go. My 3 hours come. And I tell them I'm getting out of here, which my time was from 5:20 to 9:20. I'm getting out here 8:20, 8 o'clock. I'm getting out of here. She come back with some paperwork telling me about, well, you got extra fluid on you and you don't need to leave and this and that. Now, mind me, my words got a little rough this time when I talked to her. I got a little rough with her and I said some things. I don't regret what I said, but I didn't go out of line. I said, you can't tell me what to do. This is my body. I do what I want to do. So she come back and she tried to prove her point. I said, well, Richard, which was my take, if you don't take me off this machine, I'm taking myself. I know how to work this machine just like you do. So he was disconnecting me. Jim, when I left there that day, my voice got kind of loud with her. So I pulled her over to me and I was telling her what was on my mind. When I left there that day, I had told her, I'm sick and tired of dialysis. I'm sick and tired of getting up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm sick and tired of sitting here 4 hours. I'm sick and tired of y'all and the way y'all treating folks. I'm sick and tired. I just looked in the air and said, God, I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. I get out of dialysis. I come home, change clothes, go to the funeral. And we had the services here in town. We load up to take him up home. We're a mile away from the burial ground. I stop and get me something to drink at the store, and we about a mile away, maybe less. My phone ring. I look at my phone, and my brother driving. He said, "Hey, brother, somebody from some coordinator calling you." So I look at my screen. I said, "Oh, that's the kidney calling. What they calling me for today?" So the lady come on saying, "I'm looking for Steve Bundage." I said, "Oh, speaking." She said, "Mr. Bundage, are you ready?" So my heart started pounding fast. I said, "Yeah, I'm ready." I said, "What's the problem?" She said, "Are you ready for a kidney?" I said, "Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm ready. I'm ready." I said, "Well, right now we're about to bury my uncle right here and I'm about 2 hours away from Houston." She says, "No rush. I'm gonna call you back." She said, "But I want to make sure you're ready." I said, "Baby, I'm ready. My bag's packed." I said, "You give me 2 hours, I'll be back." So we get to the burial ground. We do our thing. And I'm telling my pastor, "We need to hurry up. I just got my call for my kidney." So everybody there cheered me on instead of grieving over my uncle, which made me feel good. So afterwards, we have the repast and we go in there and we eat. And I said, "Well, I'm taking my plate to go. I can eat on the road." My brother driving, I'm sitting in the back seat, so I can eat on the road. I got to get back. So everybody hugging me and, we congratulations. We hope everything work out fine. I just told him it's all in God's hand. I got the phone call. It's in God's hand. I don't have nothing to worry about. So I get home and she called me back and say, "Well, I'm going to call you tomorrow. Have your bags packed. And we want you to come to St. Luke's emergency room. All you got to do is check in and everything is going to be okay. You don't have to worry about nothing." So I come home. I'm so nervous to call everybody. So I call everybody. I call Ken. Ken said, "What you waiting for? Get to the hospital." I'm so nervous. I couldn't. I was like a kid in a candy store or a toy store. I never felt that way before. I was just so nervous, but I was so happy. I finally got the call after 8.5 years. That's a long time, Jim.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. I went through some things I could only imagine. I went through some things, and it was rough.
How many false alarms did you have, Steve, before the call? How many times did they call you and say?
I had a total of 3. I had a total of 3. But the last one came, after it came, I had to go see Dr. Timmons, which was my transplant doctor. So we sitting in the office, we talking. She said, "Mr. Bundage, I know they gave you a call for a gentleman that passed and he was 70 years old. So we don't want to give you that kidney." She said, "I want you to have a younger person kidney." And then out of the blue, she just told me, Jim, she said, "Steve, I don't want you to worry about it. I'm going to give you the right kidney. I'm not going to give you any kidney. I'm going to give you the right kidney." So it dawned on me. I was like, "Okay, Doc, I appreciate that." It was registered, but I was like, "Okay, I think any kidney is the right kidney because I need a kidney." She said, "I'm going to give you the right kidney." Jim, the kidney she put in with me, as I can knock on wood, I haven't had no rejections, no bad numbers, nothing. It was the perfect kidney for me.
Okay. What was the date of your transplant, Steve?
She called me on the 9th. She called me on the 9th, which was Saturday. She called me back Sunday. I was getting ready to watch I'm sorry to say this, everybody, my Dallas Cowboys. I was getting ready to watch them. And I was getting home. I was getting my wings together. I had my party food. And she called me at 4:01. I never forget that time, 4:01 p.m. that Sunday. She said, "Get to the hospital." I said, do I get 2 hours?" She said, "You can get 2 hours." I said, "I'll be there in 20 minutes because I'm like a mile and a half from the hospital. I'll be there in 25 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it was." And I called my brother. I called Kent. "Get there, grab your bag, and go." So I grabbed my bag. I had to wait for my niece, my son, my nephew, and my brother. And they all took me up there. So this time, when I went up there, but now remind you, when I went through my transplant, that when COVID was really bad. It was COVID everywhere, mass everywhere. No one could go in the hospital unless you had COVID, emergency or whatever. So my son and my brother were trying to go in with me to wait. They had to turn them around at the emergency. We could let no one in but him. So I had to deal with my transplant during COVID time. But I was never affected. I wasn't affected, just like I had the armor of protection upon me. And Monday morning, they sit down. I meet all the doctors. I meet all the nurses. I meet the head nurse. I meet everyone came except Dr. Timmons. She was coming in Monday. So they tell me nothing to eat after midnight. Get yourself ready. So I asked for something to eat because I didn't get a chance to eat when I got home like I wanted to. So they gave me something to eat. I ate before midnight. So from midnight till I thought they'd come at 7:30, which they came at 5:30. But I took that time to give thanks to God. And I put everything in his hands. And I walked out of there with the perfect kidney.
And this would have been January 12th, January 13th.
January 11th at 7:30 that Monday morning. They came, got me at 5:30 Monday morning. They prepped me up, and I went in at 7:30. I was on the operating table. They said, only thing we were waiting on, it was on the way, was the kidney. When the kidney got there, they took me on back. And the only thing I remember is taking 2 deep breaths. When I woke up, it was 2:47 p.m. And Jim, I was sitting up like I was in my recliner at my house. I was sitting, I laid there in recovery, and I sit up, and they were like, no, don't sit up. Don't sit up right now. But we sit down there for a little while longer. They took me to my room, and the next day, you wouldn't believe, I was out that bed.
Walking already.
I was out the bed. So they come in, the doctors come in and say, what are you doing? I said, I just got up to walk around. I got up to walk around. I didn't want to be in the bed no more.
So the date of your transplant, January
11th.
2021.
2021, January 11th. So every year I celebrate that as my second chance of living.
Okay. Tell me, has Kent and Kidney Solutions followed up with you after transplant?
Y'all did more than followed up with me. We became a family. We became a family. And the folks that was on my side, we became even closer. I thank God for getting a chance to meet Kent, that introduced me to Kidney Solutions. And that means the world to me. And I told him, I said, once I receive this kidney, I'm going to give back. I don't care what it takes or what I have to do. I want to show my appreciation to someone else, because my story could either help you in some kind of way, or I could help you in some kind of way. Because just talking to someone that's been through what kidney disease people go through, it means a lot. I mean, some folks may not think of nothing, but it meant a lot to me. I mean, he took the time, y'all took the time out to just call me. I would get phone calls and visits, you know, just out of love. So I thank God for that. Like I say, God put the right people in your life. You don't need, I always thought growing up, I need to have so many people by my side just in case I needed something. But those folks that I believed in wasn't by my side. Just most of them weren't by my side. I asked for kidneys. I asked for folks to do this and do that. I got so many no's, Jim, that I figured I wasn't gonna never get a kidney, because I was relying on folks that I did things for in a lifetime that wouldn't even go get checked. So I just stopped asking. When I told Ken, I'm not asking no more, I'm not doing nothing, I'm gonna give it to God. That's what I did. And that was a choice I made, and I'm glad I made it. But Kidney Solution has been a family to me. I mean, from day one. Ever since I was introduced to come on to your show and listen in, and then I started commenting on stuff. I met you, I met Shannon, I met Jonathan, I met Shane. I mean, it go all the way down. Bob, Karen, Jonathan. I mean, I'm saying Jonathan. It just go down the list. Miss Kathy, Bressler. I mean, it was just overpouring love that came out from this family. And I just want to do my part and help someone else and keep Kidney Solution around as long as it can be.
Okay. I know that you're very active in Monday night support group. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I love Monday nights. I usually get out there on the day, hit the gym, work out, go visit family, because I have an older brother that's on dialysis. For some reason, he didn't want a kidney, and he been going at it strong for 11 years, and I didn't know why he didn't do it 11 years ago. He probably would have got his kidney by now, maybe 2 if needed. So I go check up on him and some more relatives I need to check up on and make sure they're okay. So I try to get home at a certain time on the Monday and can't wait for Monday nights, because that's the time you can express whatever I done went through that week. If I'm going through something or whoever's going through something, they can reach out and they can get the answer they're really looking for. So that platform opened up the doors and the airways for a lot of folks that need an answer on certain things that they, that they're going through. So it's a platform that I'm appreciative of, and I hope they are the same.
Okay. You've mentioned during the broadcast now a couple of times about your desire to help other people. What steps, if any, have you taken to try and help others? I'm thinking specifically about Betty Good right now.
Betty Good, she on the right track. I had to take my time with her because she's a little older than me, but she would listen. And I would try to tell her things before it started to occur with her. But she's hung in there and she's doing the best she can. And 2 weeks from now, 11 days from now, she should be transplanted. So we're praying that everything go right and she get the kidney she's been so desired to have. And I just try to do my part to be there for her. And on her transplant day, I'm not going that Wednesday, I'm gonna go that Thursday. I'm gonna give her a chance to have her surgery, get in her room, and I go spend time with her Thursday, because I gotta go Thursday for labs anyway. And I'm just gonna spend some time with her and pray with her. And we're gonna hope for the best. But she really believes that this is her time too. So we want everyone that's looking for a kidney, asking for a kidney, to receive a kidney. Because I know that what you and the organization and Kent and all the rest of the folks, Kidney Solution and Shannon, all, they're trying to help the folks that are looking for a kidney to at least have an opportunity to receive a kidney.
Okay.
So it's been a blessing.
I think Betty's date is like May 5th. Is that right?
May 4th, Wednesday, May 4th, and I have an appointment May 5th. So I'm gonna give her time, and I'm gonna go up there. Like I told her, I'm gonna come surprise you, and we just hope for the best for her. And she's so excited. You heard her last night. She's so excited. I mean,
very excited.
That's what we want to hear. We want everyone to be excited. And it's, even though you're going through something, you have to speak your blessing before you receive your blessing. So that's why I tell folks, I had to claim my victory before I got to the victory. Now, nothing during this victory, Jim, or this journey is going to be easy. Now, we ask God for something. He's not going to do it in our ways. He's going to do it in his way. So you have to prepare yourself to whatever you ask for whatever you have to go through to get it, you'll get it. But it's not going to be the way you think you're going to get it. Now, I want a kidney. I don't know I'd be told so many thousands of times the answer was no. I thought it would come from somebody I knew. But when I gave it to God, he was like, when I was going through that, Jim, I'm going to go back a little bit. When I was going through that, I didn't want to question God, because they said don't question God. So I would ask, why all of these people that I know won't give me a kidney? I would hear a whisper, be still. So I'm like, be still. I need a kidney. Be still. So I'm sitting back after I was told no numerous of times. Why was I told no? Another voice come to me. I'm going to hear you. So I'm just like, okay. That's when I went back and told Ken I'm not going to try no more. The whisper came to me, I'm going to hear you. So I was like, well, I know all these people. Why can't they give me a kidney? Why can't I get healed? What's the problem? I'm going to hear you. Be still. Wait. Be patient. You have to be patient. I had to be patient. It taught me patience. I didn't have patience. When I was growing up, I had work for everything. And when I wanted something, Jim, I would go get it. I work, I get it. I want it, I had to have it. I wanted it, I'll go get it. It was like that in life. When it came to that kidney, it taught me patience, something I never had. It slowed me down. I didn't want to wait 8.5 years, but the journey I went through to get what I got, I would do it again. Because I got the prize at the end. It's all about the prize. It ain't gonna come the way you want it. You're gonna take some sacrifice. It's gonna take some crying. I lost my walking ability when I had that fluid on me when I had them infection. I went into dialysis weighing 210. I could weigh one day 210, we're at 202. The next day I could weigh, Jim, I was 214. I could weigh again, I'm 190, 195. I could weigh again, I'm 207. This all from day to day. This is fluid. So I lost my walking. I didn't lose it totally, but I had to walk with a cane. I had to walk somebody in front of me, hold on to their shoulder. I couldn't walk fast. I couldn't lift my leg up from the bottom of the curve on top of the curve without lifting one. I had to take my time. I never felt like I could say I was handicapped. I didn't want to never say it to myself I was handicapped, but I had to accept it. I was in bad shape. I laid down. I had to.
You're a pretty big, strong guy. I understand you work out quite a bit, and you worked out prior to your issues with kidney disease, and
I think that would kept me going. That what kept me going. I worked out. I went to the gym. When I would get off work, I would go to the gym at least 5 days a week. Then I cut it back to 4 days, maybe 3 days. So I always worked out. I always was a stout person. So I think that would help me a lot. But when I got the fluid on me, it did another toll. I could see the fluid on me, but I thought it was weight because our weight was at 190 to 200 pounds on average. But most of it, when I started doing dialysis, they started taking that fluid off. That was mostly fluid. After a while, once the kidneys got bad, it was really fluid. So I was like, man, how do this work? So they was pulling fluid and pulling fluid. I remind you, when I went to get my kidney weighing in, I left dialysis that morning. I weighed in at the doctor office. Transplant, they want to weigh, what's your weight? When I left dialysis, I was 153 pounds. Remind you, I was 190 plus. When I weighed at dialysis, I was 153. I never forget that number. It stayed in my head. So I was like, my clothes too big, my shirt didn't fit big. I don't like to look like this, but I always kept my appearance up. I get my hair cut every week, twice a week. I always try to look decent, even though I was affected. I didn't want to look a certain way because a lot of folks get kidney disease. They'll turn dark shade, and your tongue turn a different color. I never got to that point, and I thank God for that because my appearance meant a lot. And another thing, I think why I didn't get my kidney so soon, people used to tell me I didn't look sick. You could walk past me and say, you don't look like you got kidney disease. I think that would help me up a lot too for folks who just wanted to donate. But I was like, well, why would I tell you I need a kidney just to be saying something? But I think it held me back a lot too. But my main focus was when I got this kidney, I was getting my weight back. I weigh today on 196. I'm happy with my I gained that 40. I was determined to gain this weight back when I got that kidney. When they told me, Steve, you don't have to watch your limit of drinking. You can eat the steaks. You can eat this here. You can go out and have fun. You can have that. I watched my diet, but I put on the protein. I put on the pounds. And that's what I wanted. And I got what I wanted.
Okay. Talk to us about the things you are doing now to stay healthy and to take care of your kidneys. Do you have any current health challenges?
I have diabetes, which I'm maintaining, which is a day-to-day basis, which you have to see about it. You have to check your levels and all that, which I do. I still do my normal routine, check diabetes, blood pressure, weight, temperature, more like I did when I was doing it at home, PD at home. I do it right now today. I just done my second set before I got on. I do my third set of vitals before I go to bed. but you have to maintain a steady diet. First of all, don't miss no medication. If you get a kidney, what keeping you alive and keeping you rolling, keeping you up to par is the medication. Whether you believe it or not, your medication is your main focus. You want to exercise, like kids say you want to move. Move. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's walking through your house or walking out on your balcony, your porch, or back and forth to your car. You want to exercise. You want to get moving. I go to the gym. I do my cardio. I make sure I get my good walking in, and I lift light. I don't have to lift heavy because that was never my main focus. I always had big guns anyway, just a steady looking body. So you have to keep moving in your medicine, and you want to keep that creatinine at a great level. Drink plenty water. It won't hurt.
All right, Steve, we're in the home stretch here, buddy. Is there anything else that you would like to discuss before we close the conversation for the evening?
I want to thank everyone for coming on here, hearing my story tonight. I want to thank Kidney Solution. I want to thank all you senior citizens, Kidney Solution, you, Shannon, Kent, and the rest of the gang. I appreciate it. This is a nice platform, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And to my family and friends that came on the hill tonight, Steve is doing all right. Steve gonna be all right. We're gonna keep praying for each other. And I got the victory. I would never give up on God. I'm not ashamed of God. So that's my main focus, to stay healthy and to do for others as much as I can, and to be a better person than I once was. And I want to be this mentor to help someone else. So anyone that's going through something, give it to God like I did. Don't worry about what other folks say. Take care of yourself. Be kind to others. And just have a grateful heart.
Okay.
And I thank you for this afternoon and sharing my story and this time. It's been a privilege to me. And I hope I touched someone that was on here tonight. I just hope I touched y'all with my story. And I'm just happy now to receive this kidney. I want to thank my donors for the kidney. I don't know who they are. I plan to write a letter to them. It was a 34-year-old male that killed himself on an overdose. I hate that it has happened. It saved my life and maybe other folks' lives. But I want to reach out to them. I want to give my gratitude to them. I'm sorry they lost their loved one, but it saved my life. I want to let them know that I'm going to do everything in my power to keep this kidney alive. And I'm just so thankful.
All right. Well, I appreciate you taking time to come on tonight and tell us your story. And wow, what real compelling testimony, my friend.
That's what I had. I want to tell y'all in the beginning, I didn't have a story. I had a testimony. This is my testimony. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, much appreciated, Steve. Thank you. So we'll see everybody next Friday. And let's see, we got another comment from Shannon. Shannon says your donor family will be proud of you the same way we are.
Thank you.
All right. I think we're going to close there, Steve. I appreciate you taking time to come on. We will talk to you on Monday night.
Monday night. I thank y'all again. This has been I thank you. Thank you for sharing my stuff and listening to me and my testimony. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, Steve.
Thank y'all for listening in and coming in for me. Thank you so much.
We'll talk soon, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. That was Steve Bundage. He did a great job. I'll see you guys in a week.